Yesterday when we had this conversation, I certainly said that they're contenders for the second position along with the Dallas Cowboys because Dallas plays San Francisco on Sunday, and if Dallas were to win or lose and they were to win, they'd be tied. I still maintain until it's over, they are in the second position because I got Dallas losing to San Francisco. And let's see what happened with the Commanders moving forward. To win a division is going to the Eagles. I don't care what nobody say. The Eagles are the better team overall in the division, period. That is just the way I feel. As far as the Commanders go, I don't even know what that was. I thought Jack Del Rio, I thought the defense would have played much better sound on the back end, especially I thought the chasing company up front would do some stuff to Justin Fields. Justin Fields been cooking over the last 6 or 7 quarters of football. Yes. He's been cooking, so maybe the light has come on with him and DJ Moore from an offensive standpoint, but there was a lot of mistakes that was made on Washington's side of the football field, especially on defense, and there's no way, and this is the first time I really had a chance to zero in on Sam Howell and watch this with Ron Rivera. I don't know how Eric Bieniemy signed up for this one. I really don't. Ron Rivera didn't do himself any services at all, Skip, by saying we're comfortable with Sam Howell at the quarterback position. And then you can't, I don't know what he was thinking when the quarterbacks was available for him to either draft or go get in free agency or some sort of trade. You can't win with that. I don't even know what to say there. You just can't win with it.
So this in the second spot, but you can't win with Sam Howell.
Well, I'm talking about second spot. Second spot doesn't mean that you're gonna be 13-4. Okay? Second spot might mean you might be a little something less. Philadelphia might run away with it. I know that you think because I say that I don't really mean it. I really mean it. I've watched teams get off the slow starts and then figure it out. And I watched teams get off the fast starts and then all of a sudden disintegrate. Right. So it's early in the season. I know you want Dallas to win the division, but the Eagles gonna win the division.
The Eagles gonna win the division. Let me say this, because I said they are teetering right on that contender-pretender line because the 2 games they had won were playoff teams. The 2 games they had lost, the 2 games they won were against teams that were not in the playoff. 2 games they had lost were teams that they did make the playoff. But let me tell you what I saw, too, and that worried me. And I throw things out like, when you want to beat a man, you attack his weakness. If I want to break a man, I attack his strength. You know, I saw them attack your strength. They attack Washington's strength. You're talking about Sam Howell. That's their weakness right now. That defensive line is their strength, and they attack your strength. And to me, that's a broken man. So where do you go now? You know, I never expected that offense to be doing dynamic things, but I expected that defense to do dynamic things and incredible things, and that's why I gave Washington a chance as that offense came along. As it came along, I also feel bad for Eric Bieniemy in this sense. Not that Sam Howell ain't the guy or not the guy or can't play, because we don't even have enough information. We're still gathering information to understand how good he could be in that department, and he has played some pretty good football, and he's made some mistakes, you know, along the way. But my problem is this. For Eric Bieniemy, we're always going to look at him and think back to what Kansas City Chiefs are doing. So as we are measuring him as an offensive coordinator, even if he's doing pretty good with Sam Howell, we still going to say it's still not what Kansas City has. And in that sense, it's going to always be a problem for him, and I feel bad about that. But I do like also what I saw with that young Justin Fields and finding out now that, hey, you know what? That is my best friend over there, DJ Moore. I'm going to find him more often. And even when there aren't opportunities, I'm just going to throw the ball his way. Because that corner end zone shot, it wasn't wide open. That was, I trust you over anybody else kind of a play. And that's a good sign because he's a young superstar athlete that usually win games by himself. And now he's learning, I can't do that by myself at this level in this league. That's what I like. I never said Washington was a contender. I said they could be that seventh spot, barely waving.
Either them or the Cowboys.
Or the Cowboys. You just put the Cowboys in the same sentence with the Commanders? Are you kidding?
You guys go too far.
You didn't learn your lesson last night?
I'm just saying they're not going to win the division. If you don't win the division, you got to fall somewhere.
And that's not necessarily true either when we win the division.
So, Keyshawn,
it's my truth.
When we did this topic yesterday, right at the end of the show, I said, I got 2 words for you. Yeah. Sam, how? Those are the 2 words I gave to you as the show closed yesterday. And I think that's what you saw. He'll make a play here or there. He's actually a little more mobile than you give him credit for. And he's a tough kid, and he'll do this, and he'll do that, and then he does that and that. And you say, well, you just can't ultimately win with him. And that's going to be the bottom line on Sam Howell. The Commanders have all kind of talent all over everywhere. They just couldn't get their quarterback to make enough plays after they quickly fell behind and had to throw it 51 times. They ran for nothing last night. Where are their stats? I've lost them. But I think they had 23 yards rushing because they just abandoned. Well, their leading rusher was Sam Howell with 19, and I think they had maybe 5 or 6 other yards.
29 yards.
29,
rushing.
Okay, right? And didn't Sam Howell have 19 of them? Okay.
Yeah,
so,
Sam had 19.
Okay, so there you go.
Had 10, right.
But what happened was Justin Fields happened. He is a superstar athlete. I give you that. He has huge quarterback potential, but I've never thought he was a great thrower of the foot, a great passer. He has a nice arm, but sometimes it doesn't look smooth. His feet, they don't get set. The delivery's a little long and slow. He can heat up. We'd seen him at Ohio State just go crazy hot for a game, and then he'd go crazy cold. He's not a consistent passer of the football. But you want to talk about running he is, I was saying last year, he's looking like Eric Dickerson to me. Can you last in this league doing that?
Not only is he young, this is, I believe, his third offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a lot. When you have those issues where you're changing coaches and changing coordinators and getting new receivers and all of those things, Chicago is like a lot of big market towns and cities where they want instant gratification, microwave. And if it doesn't start going the way that they want it to instantly, the first thing people start saying is, you got to get rid of this guy. You got to get rid of this guy. This guy's got to go. It's like you got to take a step back for a minute, and you got to look at, okay, where is he at now? Where is he at? And he got a defensive-minded head coach, number 1. I don't like young quarterbacks that have defensive-minded head coaches, Michael, because they kind of become progress stoppers to a degree.
I believe that.
And so when I look at him, I think he's headed in the right direction. We just got to let it continue to develop, opposed to, oh, he needs to be moved on. They should trade him. Okay, so you move him on and trade him now. He's going to another system with another offensive coordinator that he's got to learn something all over again.
Right. And they can't worry about that. They can't worry about that. Everything you said up till let's wait and see how he plans out. You don't have time. You may have the number 1 and 2 pick next year. You need to know within the next few weeks. Waiting is this season. Well, you're going to get the rest of this season.
Yeah, waiting is this season.
But he has to understand that's all he got. He's not like some other he's not like Bryce Young. He's not like Bryce. You only got the rest of this season, son, and you got to show them right now because and you can't be mad at them for that.
They had the number 1 pick last year, and they traded it away. So they said, no, we don't want Bryce Young. We don't want C.J. Stroud. And
so
they could add either one of them.
1 and 2, skip 1 and 2 this year because they got theirs in Carolina.
Okay, all right. So they passed on. So far, C.J. Stroud looks like the real deal. I know it's early on him, but they have been
You ain't passing. You ain't passing that. You gonna pass USC over there? Is Dad gonna keep him in school? You see what's going on? Okay, then what you think gonna happen? That's it. So you got the rest of this season just to keep doing what you're doing and what you've done the last couple of weeks. Then that'll back them up if you keep doing that.
Yeah. So when that game ended, I saw the celebration in the locker room. They were celebrating like they'd won the Super Bowl. They have lost 14 straight games. I thought of you guys. It's like winning cures everything. All of a sudden, it's just like, we won.
Skip, you have no idea what it feels like, right? I mean, I know you know because you've been around it, but I'm talking about that
first win.
Oh, my God, Skip, I was 1-15 as a rookie. We went to Arizona. Now, mind you, in 1996, think about 1996, the Arizona Cardinals. It had 9,000 people in the stands in Arizona. We went on the road. We beat the Arizona Cardinals and Neil Swinner. You thought we had won the damn Super Bowl. We celebrated so much because it was like all of a sudden, all that bad was gone. Yeah. We didn't catch fire, even though our coach came to the meeting talking about we still got a chance. No, we don't, man. Stop.
They were celebrating. They were celebrating. I caught the post game too, also, and I listened to Justin Fields, and I'm gonna tell you what I thought about in that post game. because we just talked about will he be there with her. Boy, he really helped himself with the moment. And I don't think it was, planned. It just happened. They were asking him about the game and how does it feel to get that first win. And he himself tied it in to the passing of Dick Buckles.
Yeah.
And that right there, that I was like, ooh, really, I felt that. You know what I mean? That, boy, Chicago will receive you on that because he said, yeah, you get you snap this 14-game losing streak on the same night that great Dick Buckles leave time and go to eternity. It's like his spirit is helping you get that win right here. I was like, whew. I guarantee you Chicago liked that. I thought that was a beautiful thing that he did.
Do any of those kids in that locker room really understand what Dick Butkus was in his day? Because I'm not even sure you two.
Oh, I
really
understand.
do.
I understand.
Okay.
I think they do because they're there playing for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to learn about Dick Butkus from, I knew about him, but I had to learn the significance of the position because Tom Jackson and I worked with for 10 years at ESPN.
That's a good one.
And Tom's going to teach you. Tom's going to teach you. You're right.
On what that's all about.
That's my dude.
So he was 6'3", 250 pounds, born and raised on the south side of Chicago, Lithuanian immigrant parents. I think he was the last of 8 kids. And he was a bad man in a time when there were virtually no rules.
His son played with me at SC.
Oh, did he? Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. But when you have no rules and nobody knows anything about concussions, this is even in your day, you guys didn't know a whole lot about concussion. You just sort of shake it off and go on. This man didn't want to just hit you; he wanted to hurt you, and he wanted to make you remember you got hit by him, and you did not want to get hit by him again. I've never seen anything like him, but the rules allowed him to be who he was. Today, he couldn't be that. The game's different today.
And that helped grow the game because it said, listen, this guy was one of the best in the world, man. And I mean, he was a man's man, a man's man. He walks in the room, I don't care, right? You knew that's the one. That's the dude right there. We talk about guys that have that, say the Jim Browns and all of those guys.
That's right.
He had that. Dick Buckles had that. And I just thought it was a beautiful moment for a young guy like Justin Fields, and you just talked about it, Skip, these young guys don't even know. I saw, when you see young guys do stuff like that, it was just touching. It says, I understand the history.
Great way to end this discussion. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.